Alright, welcome to the bad idea session.
So Valky is laying dead in the needle waste because she tried to sleep in it.
We're off to a great start.
And,
Tune in next time.
For the other game.
yeah.
So I go to sleep in the needle waste after reading the Ignan, Teach Yourself Ignan book for a while. When I wake up, I'm going to go and phrase it that instead of do I.
No, you're dead. You are DED.
For a second I thought you were going to put an A there, but no, I'm just a misspelling. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So...
No, you're dead. You died.
Yes, I did, and then I came back. And then I died again, and then I came back. That catches us up to now.
Where you're dead again.
No.
Because the magic...
No, just still a little bit dead. That's from the last time. But when I wake up from sleeping...
You're dead. There is no waking up. You've gone into the eternal sleep.
As opposed to the eternal napping that I've done twice before.
Yes.
The eternal two winks.
This one feels a little distinctly more permanent.
The eternal sleep of, oh, is it morning already? Oh. Why do things happen when I play D&D? Okay. So I went to sleep in the needle waste.
You went to sleep in the needle waste, and both the fire familiar wore off in your sleep. And I'm pretty sure Endure Elements also wore off while you
Endure
slept.
Elements didn't.
Did it not?
Resist Energy did.
So you wake up and you're not dead yet. But you're freezing, which means you probably wouldn't have woken up because you were freezing.
But again, it's the sudden change because of Endure Elements. That it's as soon as it passed the negative either 40 or 50, whatever the thing was, I suddenly feel it all. Because the way you decided earlier, instead of it being a gradual thing. So I wake up.
I don't know if you would.
That's how you had said it before, when I tried to use just Endure Elements to go into the needle
Well,
waste.
it would have been warmer because of the fire familiar, and then it would have just started getting colder over time.
But while it's getting colder over time, I'm still feeling comfortable because I've still got Endure Elements. It's once it goes from that negative 39 to negative 41 that it suddenly feels like negative 41 instead of a...
How much longer would Endure Elements have lasted?
Until like 4 in the evening tomorrow. Endure Elements is 24 hours, and I specifically cast it a second time later in the day so that it wouldn't wear off while I was in the needle waste. Or while I was still
Then you
asleep.
went to sleep.
Yes, and it still stays on.
No, I guess you do wake up. I guess I'm not getting out of it that easy. I'm just kidding.
So I wake up and I'm very, very cold.
You wake up and it's cold in there, but if Endure Elements hasn't worn off yet, but Resist Energy has.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're very, very cold.
Okay. Am I waking up because it's suddenly very, very cold, or am I waking up...
You're not sure.
Okay.
You do just wake up. And you're cold.
Then I'm going to cast Resist Energy.
Shit, I'm awake and cold. Two horrible things.
Actually, let's see. Actually, I'm going to cast Resist Energy Communal on me and Gianna.
Who's still asleep?
Okay. So that'll last for 90 minutes, so 40 on her, 50 on me. Yeah. And then I'm going to open up the book and summon my fire elemental while facing away from her. Actually, I'm going to go and cast resist energy fire on her as well. And that'll last 90 minutes. And it'll be resist 20. Just like the cold.
Okay.
Then I'm going to summon my Heart of Fire.
Okay.
And then summon one of the elementals. And the familiar.
Oh, almost.
I also realized when to do Hollow on my house, or Hallow, instead of doing resist energy cold, I'm going to do resist energy fire. So I can just have a bunch of fire, and people be immune to it while it warms the house.
You get the dragon.
Yes. Out of curiosity, does it take up enough of the room that Shiana would be getting burned if I hadn't done resist energy on her?
It would be clipping her just a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Preparation. Woo. Gonna ask it to breathe fire away from Shiana, but just in the room. I don't know if it actually can or not, but
It opens its mouth and breathes, so it's breathing fire. But that's about all you get.
okay. Well, darn. Eh. I'm actually going to put on my
Pants?
no, my my mask, the noise mask, and have it stand right by the door and open the door just enough for me to step out.
Okay.
What time of day is it? Based on light, at least.
It's dark out. So still early morning.
Okay. Then I'm going to go back inside. Again, being careful to let its little outside air in as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Take my mask off. Check that I'm not destroying my lungs as I breathe.
You're not.
Okay. And then I'm going to sit and pray for spells.
Do you get your spells?
Ooh.
After Rasmus thinks about it for a minute, she's like, I'm just kidding. I woke up.
Okay. And I won't be getting the 3 that I just cast, which is kind of annoying. But
Why?
because I cast them within 8 hours of preparing new ones.
Hmm.
And you don't get those back. Other than Dream Feast. Because it's special. And this shouldn't take me that long this time. Let's see. For 5th, I'm just doing Wall of Stone twice. Let's see. So tempted to do Aristocrat's Nightmare on someone. One day I will. Hmm. Ooh. What would happen if I cast one of the fog spells in the Needle Waste? I think I'm gonna try that in a minute. Ooh, that'll be fun. Okay. So that's everything. Oh, this is gonna be stupid. Alright. And then, by the time I'm done, has Shiana woken up?
She hasn't moved, but she is awake.
Okay.
She's just kind of laying there. So there's nothing to do with her.
I'll let her know that I'm going to be doing. I'm gonna go out and do stone shake or wall of stone a couple more times to do a bit more of a pathway, and then do the start on the new house. And then we can head out if she wants, and I'll do Bountiful Banquet in town so that some other people can eat too.
So what are you doing to the house today?
Remember I had started a little bit on the pathway leading out from it? I'm going to lengthen that with one casting. And maybe have... Yeah. And then just start on the floor for for the actual house with the other casting.
Okay.
And I'll do the math later for how much I actually get done of it, but the floor may be part of a wall if I have enough left of it. All of it 1 inch thick. And then... Oh, and I do... words, Endure Elements on both of us with my spell-like ability before I head out. Can the dragon get through the door?
Yes. With some squeezing.
Okay.
And it clips.
Really is mine.
Oh yeah. And I tell Shiana I had an idea last night. There's something I want to try. And I walk out away from everybody for like 30 feet and take off my mask, have it like still ready to put back on, just have it up above my mouth and do the hold my breath thing and cast Obscuring Mist and then put it back on immediately.
You can create an extra thick cloud of shards.
Are they all still just free form though, or are they all still like free floating, or is it kind of like foam, like frozen foam?
It's just very, very dense free floating.
Okay. I carefully walk out of it. If I start taking damage, I'm gonna stop.
Your clothes are getting ripped.
Then I'm gonna stop.
Okay, good, because the mask was also
Oh.
a risk for being ripped. It still might have, I'm just...
Yeah.
be a percentile or her damage? Mask is fine for now.
I'm going to, as a supernatural ability, turn me and all of my equipment into ice, giving me DR 5. And then walk out.
You can feel some of the shards splintering against you and some of them chipping you, but other than that...
After I get out, which will be... It's a standard to do it, then I walk out, and then on my next turn, before getting rid of it, I'm going to... Noticing that some of my clothes ripped a little bit, I'm guessing. I do notice that.
Would you?
If they did, then yes, I would. Okay.
It did. That happened. That was alright.
Then I am going to take the mask off while I'm still ice and cast Mending on it.
The mask?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then put it back on and then stop being ice. So that'll be...
That's a nice sentence. I'm going to stop being ice now.
I just really don't feel like being ice today.
And actually I'm going to have the dragon... I'm going to mentally command it to jump into the air, do a small backward loop, and then fly straight through the ice.
Because you know why not.
As in, do the manual control thing, which was a will check. That's an 8.
It backflips and flies into the ground.
Huh. In that case, I'm gonna mentally command it to stand up and run through the ice.
Roll will save.
Will save or will check? Wisdom check. It was wisdom check, I think, was the... Because will save would have been 13.
The wisdom check.
Okay. That one's a 22.
It does do that. There's briefly a dragon-shaped hole, and then it gets covered up.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
The dragon made of fire is unscathed by the mist.
And then I just tell it to follow along with me and say to Shiana, shall we go? Which comes out. Because the mask.
Bork. That sounds more like Bork. Because of the mask.
I can't tell what she's saying at all.
Not only do I not speak wolf, I don't speak muffled wolf.
So, yeah, walk back the hour or so to town. Which I should be able to make fairly easy, since I know how I oriented the house from town.
It's still really, really foggy.
Yeah,
Roll survival.
Yeah.
But you have Shiana there, so if you get lost with her, then she's failed. Oh, she rolled a 1.
And I rolled a 9. So she's probably steering us further away from...
Yes. So you're like, I think we need to go this way, and you point in a slightly wrong direction. She sniffs the air through the mask somehow and says, No, we need to go this way.
Okay. Historically, she's been better at it than I have, so... Really glad I prepared that extra communal resist element energy.
So you walk in a different direction.
You know, my new character owns a compass.
So you walk in the wrong direction for a little while. About how long do you think it would take?
I expected to take an hour to get back to town.
Okay.
Because that's how long it took me to get out to where I am.
Well, after about 45 minutes, you find a tree, but no town.
Oh.
And you can't see the town.
At a glance, does it seem to be the same tree as the one we had found before? Since it's the only tree we've seen,
yeah,
the only
seems,
thing.
It seems to be about the same tree.
Well, since I have nothing else to do today, I am going to take a closer look at it this time, since I now know that I've been through more of the area and that this is the only thing I've seen. Can I tell what kind of tree it is, actually?
You can roll a knowledge nature, or any other knowledge you think might be pertinent.
Now let's figure out knowledge nature. Do I have knowledge nature? I actually do. It's just that what I have in it is a 1.
Oh. +1. Should change a 9 to a 10.
Or a 14 to a 15.
There you go.
So 15.
No, you don't know what kind of tree it is. Although, upon your inspection, roll a perception.
Upon your inspection, the one you're having right now. Roll.
Well, I mean, he's trying to figure out what kind of tree it is. I imagine he inspected the tree.
Yeah.
She inspected the tree.
25. I'm much better at perception.
You do notice that under the icy layer of ice over the tree, there do seem to be some glowing veins.
Oh.
It's also a tree.
It's also a tree. Maybe.
Can you hand me the Cheetos?
I don't see them.
Yes, you do. You're staring right at them, asshole.
Those are Cheez-Its, Christian.
Motherfucker.
Yes, you do.
I can see them.
You can see them.
I can't see anything. My glasses are...
Now that he can't see them, he won't see me taking them. So yeah.
Yeah, it got to me now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did mean to say this, we just got moving. While we were walking, I was going to be seeing if I could read that last spell in the book by cross-referencing with the Ignan book.
Do you know?
I have the skill rank for Ignan. Last night was the only time I've spent trying to learn it. So that's why I'm also using the book
for reference?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can read that spell.
Okay.
Oh, crap, maps. I have to find the page for that, because there's stuff that goes with it. Yay. You uncovered the secret in the book. I have to get 2 new binders now. One for all of the spare continent that y'all are playing on, and one for all of the IO stuff, because this binder has had it. It's done. it's good. It's fought the good fight. Fuck, man. Fuck. The pages don't stay in anymore. Nothing is where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, normally I would just say, okay, I forgot to say it. I'll read it in town when I've got nothing to do. But it might actually... But I was planning on doing it then, and it might affect what I do right now. So it's kind of worth
Probably will.
checking.
There it is. Okay, Book of Ignan. So it is a release spell. It basically there is a spirit in the book that is. This is explained in the spell description. There's a spirit in the book that gives the book its power. You can choose to release the spirit.
Does it say anything about the spirit?
It's a... I do need to look. That was one thing that's why it's not written down, is because I never knew a fact.
Okay.
So I do have to check something.
spirit is also very fond of eggs.
It says that on page 34.
That's not what I wanted.
See, I was hoping that by conversing with the Heart of Fire, I would have come across any information like that. Not that I thought of that at all specifically, but, you know. But apparently not. Ooh. Also, I'm still confused as to what risk she was talking about then. Because Doom mentioned some risk of, if you've read the book, you know the risk. It's like, well, you might catch stuff on fire. That's about all I've got. It doesn't even mention the way that you might kill yourself if you turn yourself into fire while, you know, on the ocean floor.
It's
the risk I've found so far.
Well, I haven't finished reading you the chapter.
Does it talk about that particular risk later in the book?
In the Igman part.
Yeah.
I feel as though that would have been common sense.
Shut up.
Alright.
Like, maybe it's in the disclaimer at the, like, the end of the book.
No, there was common sense disclaimers at the beginning of the book, but it didn't mention that.
It says the spirit in the book is something called a matriarch fire elemental.
No.
Named Pyrocana.
Knowledge planes, I believe is what that would be.
Sure. Or maybe Arcana.
Actually, I have Arcana, so sure. That's a 12.
Overall?
Yes. Okay.
You know this is obscure knowledge.
Okay.
With that 12, you don't know what the knowledge is, but you know it's obscure. The Heart of Fire goes on to explain is pretty much a combination of your energy and the fire matriarch thing's energy, and if you try and make it do more than one thing, you run the risk of just letting the fire elemental have you.
Oh.
So it's
So I could potentially usurp its power by possessing it from the inside.
You could try and possess this thing that Go ahead. Kill yourself and do my job for me, why don't you? Get me out of game that way.
I think this might be possibly one of those times where I hear something different from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Just maybe. Because that was my first thought. It was. It's like, ooh! If it absorbed me, then I could win.
I kind of went to, I could probably put this in an engine.
More practical, perhaps, but less fun.
If that had landed in, I think my cup's empty.
Hey man, it doesn't have to be something that just generates power. You could make a small mechanical body for this fire elemental, and then just like this little tiny mechanical man, and then like the town's destroyed.
Ooh! I'm about to go spend time with a necromancer. They might know stuff about possessing things. I might be able to learn how to prepare myself to possess this thing from the necromancer.
Aw, that's not diet.
Ooh, everything's coming up. Millhouse.
Can I have some Mountain Dew or some Cherry Pepsi?
Yeah, you can. I'd rather you get the Mountain Dew.
I'm going to drink it out of the bottle then, because that's all that's left.
And I'm going to cut video because I'm going to forget after.
Also, there's